Godzilla 70th Anniversary one-shot by IDW. So yeah, this is basically just a giant one-shot celebrating Godzilla's 70th anniversary. And this issue itself is just a anthology series, which has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different stories. Jesus. I'm not going to go through all of them. I'll go through like a couple of them. I will say the best one is actually probably the first one, the Half Century Boar, where we basically have these two new recruits that have joined the anti-Megalosaurus force. So basically, they think that they're going to be like fighting the giant kaijus, but instead they're not. Instead, they're assigned to this kaiju named Hedorah. And what happens is on this force, there are people who are like assigned to different kaijus. So we have these other two soldiers, and they're assigned to Godzilla. So wherever Godzilla goes, they go. And basically, what they do is they just they set up some bombs to hopefully, get these guys to step on and explode. And other than that, they just sit and they just watch the two kaijus fight until eventually Godzilla just completely destroys Hedorah and just blows his guts and body parts everywhere. Our two new recruits are like, okay, so like, what do we do now? And the two Godzilla veterans are like, well, we're going, like we're done. Godzilla's leaving. Where Godzilla goes, we go. And since you're part of the Hedorah force, your job is to get him up and clean all this mess. And so we literally have just years and years and years passing where these two recruits are just cleaning up the body parts of Hedorah. And as I say, it takes years. It's just years and years pass because there's just chunks everywhere. And so they have to clean up everything. One of them starts losing his hair, either from stress or from radiation. We don't know. I'm assuming probably from radiation just because of the fact that this is only like a couple years later. And they have to keep getting like decontaminated every time they're done with their shift. Years pass, and then eventually one of the recruits rushes over and he's like, hey, we can get the hell out of here. Like, we've got our transfer. We no longer have to deal with Hedorah. So they no longer have to deal with cleaning up this creature's body parts. They can go get assigned to another kaiju. And the helicopter comes, and rather than picking them up, it's the veterans from Godzilla. They're like, wait, why are you guys here? You guys only show up when Godzilla shows up. And Godzilla shows up, and he starts heading towards the giant tanks that are containing the remains of Hedorah. And our two recruits are like, no, not again, not again. Go, 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 go. And they're rushing towards the tanks. And that's when Godzilla shoots his beam, blows up the tanks, which causes all the body parts of Hedorah to come out. The body parts morph together, form Hedorah, and then Godzilla fights Hedorah again. And now they're like, once again, we got to clean up all these body parts. So the job that they spent years and years working on, not even being able to finish, now they got to do it all over again. And that's how it ends. So it's like, oh, okay, that sucks for them. But that was like a good, fun little story, which I always kind of like wanted to see a story like that, where you had just people who like, they just deal with the aftermath of the kaiju. So their job isn't to fight the kaijus. Their job is like, once the kaijus are done, they just gotta like fix the aftermath. They gotta clean up the mess. They gotta like maybe pick up and fix all the debris. Like they're kind of like the crime scene cleaner for a kaiju battle. And I know some of you might be saying, oh, well, kaiju number 8, the manga. Nah, not really, because that only happens in like the first couple chapters, and then that whole subplot gets completely dropped as our main character Kafka becomes a completely different person. Or I should say he gets a completely different job. But I would kind of like to see something like that. Just like a kaiju cleanup crew. And just like the craziness that they get involved with. That would be like a funny, like maybe slice of life kind of series. I mean, you can even have some action stuff where like maybe there's like some parasites in some of the remains. Maybe some kind of like bacteria that they got to fight. But mostly it's just them just trying to clean up this mess. And just like the shenanigans that happens while they're doing so. I mean, if you can have a fun, entertaining series about people working in a cubicle, I'm pretty sure you can find something cool and fun to tell about people cleaning up kaiju messes. So yeah, I'm kind of rambling about that. we got like another story about this woman who's running some kind of war games on this virus, and the virus somehow leads to a giant mosquito kaiju being created, and the mosquito kaiju is able to like spread its virus to like the civilians, and then Godzilla shows up and fights the mosquito and kills it, and then turns to like the lead scientist lady, and basically she's like, I know why you're here, but you gotta understand, I never meant for this to happen, please believe me. And then Godzilla kills her, and then basically, it turns out that that wasn't all real. That was just another simulation that was being played. And the woman realizes that, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't be working on this virus. Like every simulation I've done for this war game has just led to chaos, destruction, and my death. So I'm just gonna call it quits. And so she quits. I was like, okay, I guess that's something, whatever. We get like another one where like we followed this little schoolgirl who's like in the midst of the city while Godzilla is rampaging, and in one of his footprints, she sees like this creature in this puddle, and it's unable to leave, and she feels like bad for it. So she finds a bucket, fills it with water, and puts the creature inside. And then she's basically like running through the city, dodging tanks and just destruction that Godzilla's causing. Like Godzilla's rampaging, he's causing like debris to fall. We have planes shooting missiles. We have Godzilla shooting his fire breath, and things are crashing all around her. And she's just basically trying to survive this until eventually Godzilla leaves, and she goes to the docks and she dumps the creature into the water, and the creature goes and follows after Godzilla. I was like, okay, I guess that was a nice little story. The artwork for that one was really good. But these are like the kind of stories that we get. Like another one we have is called The Big One. And it's basically, it's raining, it's flooding. We have Godzilla fighting what looks like it could be a mix between, it kind of looks like a giant sea snail. And so this mom and pop store that's basically run by Pop and his daughter, and his daughter's boyfriend or husband, I don't know, one of those two. Basically, he's like upset because this is like a store that he's ran with his wife for so long, and he's never like left it, and his wife is gone, so this is like the only thing he has left of her. And this time, like, he can't stay behind, like he has to leave if he wants to survive. But as they're trying to make their escape, his daughter's lover gets murdered by one of the snail creatures. Basically, it's like this giant kaiju sea snail, and then it has, I guess, a bunch of little baby sea snails that are like the size of like a van, and it eats the daughter's lover. And so the father and daughter just run away. They hide in this building where there's like these other survivors. The place starts getting flooded, and sea snails start wrecking chaos inside. So they like flee to the rooftops where the sea snails like start attacking them. And that's when like this helicopter shows up and starts shooting all the sea snails and killing them. We cut to like months later where we have the Pop and the daughter, and they have like a little shrine for her lover. And basically he's going to open up the store again, and it's going to continue serving the community soon. And that's like how that ends. So it's like just like little short stories like that. A lot of them I feel like are very miss. Like this is a very hit or miss series, and I feel like other than maybe like a couple, like 2 or 3, most of these are misses. I didn't care for most of these. But some of them, like the very first one was really good. I liked that one a lot. And then the one with the mosquito was okay-ish. It was fine. And then the one with the little girl, I liked that one too. And then everything else after that, it was just kind of meh or boring. Would I recommend this one shot? If you're a huge fan of Godzilla, I guess so. If you're not, then no. Like if you're just have a passing interest in him, then I would say skip it. It's not worth it. Like I said, like maybe 25% of the stories in this series are good. I mean, maybe 25 is being a little bit mean. I would say maybe 25 to 35% of the stories are good. The rest of it are kind of lame. I do again think that someone should come up with a series about people who clean up kaiju messes. Like that would be a really fun series. Maybe I should do that. I mean, I am a writer. That could be something I can do. But yeah, there you go. There's Godzilla, the 7th anniversary one shot from IDW. It was overall not the greatest. It has, like I said, it has like it has one really good story, one pretty good story, and then one okay story, and then the rest are just kind of meh, kind of mid to terrible. So yeah, there you go. Hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you next time. Take care. Later. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, I still want to thank you for watching it this far, and I hope the next one is more to your liking. With that said, thank you once again, and I hope you guys and gals have a good one. Later.